tell you what, my Mondays here on Summit Sunrise are so much fun. I get to talk to so many fun, interesting people. And Jim is from Cutthroat Anglers here in Silverthorne. And what's new with you guys? What are you up to?
Well, I'm kind of in that Belizean mood this morning. You know?
I see that.
We just announced that we'll be making a return trip to Belize in May of 2013. That'll be our third hosted trip.
Really?
And this year we'll be going to El Pescador. It's a lodge that's been around for more than 35 years. It's won all kinds of awards. It's got absolutely world-class fishing for bonefish, permit, and tarpon. And a really cool aspect of the trip is we've been able to secure 2-for-1 pricing, so I think folks are going to see this to be a really great value. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then on the other end of the spectrum, we also announced we'll be heading back to Alaska in August of 2013. We'll be returning to the Bear Trail Lodge. It's on the Naknek River. The Naknek has been voted the #1 rainbow trout fishery in Alaska, so we'll be fishing for not only trophy rainbow trout, but silver salmon, dolly varden, grayling, and so forth. And a cool feature of this trip is the fact that the lodge is in the Katmai National Forest and Preserve, which has one of the highest populations of brown bears in the world. So folks are probably going to be guaranteed the chance to see some genuine Alaskan wildlife. It ought to be really exciting.
Oh my gosh. Your job sounds terrible. I am so sorry for you. That just
Somebody's got to do it. That's right.
Just sounds awful. Now, if somebody was interested in maybe going on both trips, since there's 2-for-1 pricing in Belize and then also in Alaska, how would they go about doing that?
You know, we are in the midst of putting the finishing touches on our website, which will normally have that information. But if they sign up for our newsletter, which you can do on our website, all of the information is in there. Or you can just stop by the shop, and we have all the pricing information available and so forth. And a bunch of us will be around who can talk about, you know, just from our own experiences on those trips, just how great they are.
I mean, it just sounds amazing. Now, for you guys, I mean, what do you really feel like sets you guys apart from, you know, maybe other fly fishing shops we would encounter?
Yeah, I think it has to start with our location. We've been at the Silverthorne Town Pavilion for the better part of 13 years. We're right on the banks of the Blue River, so whoever's fishing the Blue is going to find us to be very handy to
really convenient.
Get flies and information and so forth. And we also pride ourselves on the fact that we really try to have more of what our guests want. When you come into our shop, you're going to see a lot of rods and reels and equipment and so forth, but you can't help but notice that we have a lot of flies, typically over 100,000 flies on hand. So, you know, you're going to be able to find that pattern that you're looking for. We also offer more trips than any other shop in the county. We have access to something over 200 river miles of fishable water, as well as some private water. So people are going to have a lot of options and alternatives to think about, you know, where they might want to go fishing. And I think last but not least is our customer service. I'm especially proud of our shop staff. They're very knowledgeable, they're very experienced. And I see it all the time, you know, whether you're an experienced angler or a beginning angler, if you come into the shop, first of all, you're going to be made to feel very comfortable. That's just simply part of our culture. But the goal of our shop staff is to make sure that your time in the water is as fun as possible.
I really wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying, Jim, just because I think there's nothing worse than being new at something and going into a shop and having people just be like, ugh. Like so put out by the fact that you have no idea what you're doing, and like, I don't know, trying to get some kind of like ego trip and making you feel less than awesome because you don't know what you're talking about. But I went into Cutthroat for my very first fly fishing experience to go get my fishing license and kind of get set up. This is long before you guys ever came on the morning show, and you guys made me feel so comfortable, and it was one of those things where like it made my experience out on the water, like later, not even involving you guys, just that much better because my day had been started off right. You guys made me feel good about, you know, like getting out there and just kind of seeing what was going on. And so, you know, if you are brand new to this sport, or if you're not, if you're looking to just be made comfortable and actually get good information and not, you know, feel stupid about asking questions and things like that, I mean, I think definitely have to stop on into Cutthroat. Now, what kind of guided trips do you guys offer, especially for, you know, someone like me that's brand new?
Sure. Well, we do full-day float trips on the Colorado, Arkansas, and Roaring Fork. We offer full-day and half-day walk and wade trips, and then we offer those trips onto private water for folks who want some privacy, some seclusion, but still want to be able to have the opportunity to catch some big fish. You know, I always find myself recommending full-day float trips, whether you're a seasoned angler or you've never touched a fly rod, just simply because It really makes the fly fishing experience much easier. And again, a really cool feature of those trips is the fact that they're going to take you into places that are otherwise inaccessible to the public. You're going to see spots in Colorado that many people will never see in their lifetimes, and so it really makes for a great experience for the course of a day.
I would think maybe too that it would be really good, especially if you have maybe like a really experienced angler in your family and then someone who's not so experienced, to be in the same boat and kind of be able to do your own things but not have to have like the guide like running back and forth between like different places. I would guess that it would be a little bit easier to have a great experience for all levels.
Sure. I mean, our guides, you know, the cumulative experience of our guide staff is probably as great as any other shop in the county. They spend an awful lot of time on the rivers. Some of those guys are on the rivers every day, so they know where the spots are and so forth. And so it's a pretty efficient process when you're with a guide, especially with maybe even a husband-wife situation, you know, that the guide can be an intermediary and provide some assistance with making sure that the day is an enjoyable one for everybody.
And the marriage stays intact.
That's right. That's right.
Good.
Exactly.
That's always good. Okay, so Jim, how do people make reservations if they want to book their own float trip, or, you know, maybe just call to ask you guys some questions?
Sure. You can call us at 970-262-2878. You can go online to our brand new website, www.fishcolorado.com.
All right.
Better yet, just come into the shop. It'll give us a chance to have a face-to-face discussion about what you're interested in doing, and we can get you set up with a great fishing trip.
And what are your typical hours at the shop?
7 to 6 right now.
Okay, so right over in the Silverthorne Pavilion. Don't miss out on it. It's just such a cool experience. If you've just been thinking about it, maybe kind of like batting the idea around, stop on into Cutthroat. Are you going to be out fishing today?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. You bet.
All right, you have any secret tips about where you might be going, Jim?
No.
Keep that zipped up tight. You're going to have to come into the shop and convince
That's
him to
exactly
tell you where
right.
he's going. All right, more Summit Sunrise coming up, including our Watch and Win giveaway for $25 to the North Face, so don't go anywhere.